Today we have something pretty special here. We're going to get right into it. I will have it linked down in the description. First off, I want you guys to check out the bearings that it's using, because you usually don't see bearings like this on, on most knives. You usually only see them on like Shirogoroffs. These are roller bearings. So you see the cage and then you like the little rollers that fall into each one of those notches and make a roller bearing. And you can see all the extra hardware. Very cool. Love to see that. And here is the knife wrapped up in a beautiful large hank. And here is this gorgeous, beautiful blade. So this is the FENGLI MULAN, and it does come in another version as well that uses mother of pearl inlays instead of the ZIRCUTI. So this is a ZIRCUTI inlay, and I love ZIRCUTI because of the gray and the blue. And I want to show you guys here something really quick here in 1 second. So you see all the grays, how in between the colors you have the gray. I love that. That's like my favorite type of titanium, or my favorite type of titanium Damascus. But yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going to show you guys this here in 1 second. I just want to show you again. You can see the milled pocket clip and the other inlay. No hardware on this side, as you can see. Now look at this. Watch this. So you've seen the colors, right? It's almost like a mood ring or something. When you get your oils on there, it's completely different. Look at that. Now it's like reds and oranges. I don't know. So just by touching it, it basically changes into like almost a different color, because now it has more orange and red and orange patterns. Still beautiful. Just spray it down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, bring it back so you can see the difference once again. And then, ooh, come on. Now it's got the more purplish blue colors. But I found that to be pretty cool. It's almost like a mood ring or something. Man, that's beautiful. Anyway, so obviously we got the ZIRCUTI inlays, or the mother of pearl, depending on which one you get. Titanium frame lock. We'll go into that in a second. Then we have a beautiful, look at that action. That was amazing. Fantastic reverse flicking action, plus a front flipper. Beautiful drop point, low tipped, upswept blade, but more of a centered tipped drop point. So this is going to be extremely useful if you choose to use it. M390 steel. Like I said, titanium handles, hidden lanyard pin back there, nice little machining on the back spacer. ZIRCUTI clip with a ceramic ball. I'm normally not a big fan of the ceramic ball clips, but hey, to each their own. The titanium here, you can see it's got nice chamfers on the edges right there. Very thick lock bar. That's why this isn't a liner. This is definitely a frame lock, just with inlays. And the blade is very thin behind the edge. Super, super smooth on the drop. Like I said, good reverse flick. This does not have a super strong detent, and I'm happy about that because of the front flipper. It sucks when you have a front flipper, and even if it's a good front flipper, and then the detent is just way too strong. So this is a good detent, but it is definitely on the lighter side. The hole deployment is a small hole, but you can get it with your nail or the skin of your finger, doesn't matter, or the meat of your finger, I should say, because it is relatively sharp. And I don't mean sharp, cut you sharp, I mean sharp that it's easy to grip and rip rather than slip off of it. The front flipper does have nice fine jimping on it. I usually prefer a little bit sharper jimping, and I usually prefer it to go up and around. So that's my preference with front flippers, but this one works extremely well. So I can't really, complain too much, but typically I say always do that. This should just be standard. Sharp jimping, and make sure it goes up and all the way around the corner. Obviously you can use this left-handed because, it's got the inlay covering the lock bar right here, but there's no reversible clip. You can see the drop, very, very smooth on the drop. very easy to slow roll. So yeah, very fidget friendly for sure. And it's very elegant looking, while also, I mean, in my opinion, I think the shape and overall design is very, very functional. Very good ergonomics. Like, it's very comfortable in the hand, and this is the type of grip that you can use it in basically any grip. And this blade is going to be versatile for just about everything you could think of, everyday carry related. Yeah, this is a beautiful piece. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be cheap, you know, considering the materials, and the build quality is, like I said, you know, really, really, really well done. Now, I want to show you guys something inside here. So, they have heavy milling, and then you can see, because they basically milled out all the way through and through the titanium, and then you have the ZIRCUTI that you can see in there. However, they drilled pockets in. They drilled pockets inside that ZIRCUTI, so to bring down the weight. So it must be relatively thick, maybe not super thick, but you can see all those pockets. They drilled out a lot, so that definitely brings down the weight. And this is not like a heavy knife. It doesn't feel super heavy or anything like that. And, you know, if it didn't have any weight relieving, yes, it would feel very heavy. But it has so much weight relieving that, you know, it's not heavy at all. Like I said, this edge is very, very thin. The blade, it has a blasted finish, and the spine is not crowned. It has more of like a flat part, which can tend to be a little bit better for putting pressure. Sometimes when they're crowned, it can actually hurt a little bit. It does depend though, you know, it depends on the thickness and everything. Anyway, so what are some nitpicks? What are my nitpicks? So one nitpick already, you know, like I said, I'm not a fan of the ceramic ball clips. I just don't like the way they go over pockets. The next thing, like I said, I would prefer the jimping to be up and around. Not that it's affecting anything right now because this one's good, but I typically prefer that. I do like how they did internal stop pins though. I always love to see that. That's going to help with side-to-side stability. And, you know, since they're using roller bearings, the pivot should have quite a bit of stability, you know, because unlike balls that have like a very, very tiny point of contact, just like this ceramic ball, and exactly why I don't like these as clips, because it has a single little tiny point of contact, which is difficult, you know, it's like, it's pokey, basically. Well, with bearings in the pivot, it's the same way. So with roller bearings, it makes it to where it has a lot more contact. Anyways, I'm not a fan of blasted finishes when you get into this price range of a knife. I would prefer satin or stone washed. You know, blasted finishes, they just, you know, they seem like they belong on more affordable knives. I know there's tons and tons and tons, even like Shurogorovs and all kinds of knives, Rocksteads, all kinds of knives do use blasted finishes. So I'm not knocking it. I just, you know, I'd prefer satin or stone wash. I don't want to make it seem like it cheapens the knife really, but it's always nice, you know, to, in my opinion, to see a different finish than blasted on a premium knife, but not a big deal. And some people might just absolutely love it because it is very consistent, and it doesn't, you know, you don't see like, you know, anything on the blade. It's just, yeah, blasted. Anyways, next thing, sharp drill and plunge grinds. Okay, they tapered the plunge grind from here to here, so they did give you a little bit of life to sharpen off, and since it's so thin, you will get a few sharpenings before it will hit the plunge grind. I prefer it to be larger though. I prefer a nice big, not necessarily a big cutout, but I just want the end of the plunge grind to be back up so that you have room to sharpen off, a lot of room. Like, I want to be able to lay back my edge angle to 10 degrees per side. Maybe not that low, like at least 15 though. And get multiple sharpenings. That was my point. This one, you'll be able to lay it back, no problem. It's so thin behind the edge, you'll have no problem getting a few sharpenings. Before we get out of here, let's take a quick look at this big old Hank. Pretty damn cool. Nice large one, good material, nice little touch, you know, and, you know, with the extra hardware and the extra bearings, that's always a plus in my opinion. So there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.